Biden blasting the president at the Iowa steak fry for going after his son.
Trump's doing this because he knows I'll beat him like a drum.
But the meat of the matter, a new poll showing a possible shift at the top of the Democratic field in Iowa. Is it a blip or a bump?
Breaking overnight, senior citizens saved during a nursing home fire. Firefighters pulling off ladder rescues as flames and smoke threaten lives.
New questions this morning about the future of a star player. Embattled Antonio Brown said to be receiving offers from other NFL teams following his latest sacking from the New England Patriots, as the league says it is investigating multiple allegations involving Brown.
Sucker punched the moment caught on camera during a basketball brawl. A teenage girl slammed by a man almost twice her size, falling to the ground.
I was completely shocked.
The police investigation this morning.
And royal visit. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex ready to embark on their tour of southern Africa with baby Archie in tow. Where they'll go with Harry ready to follow in his mother's footsteps.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good Sunday morning, everybody. Great to have you with us. We have a lot to get to today. Joe Biden is in Iowa this weekend with strong words about a potential firestorm brewing in Washington. Did President Trump pressure the leader of Ukraine to dig up dirt on Biden's son?
This comes as Biden faces a stiff new challenge in Iowa, at least according to one new poll, which shows Elizabeth Warren pulling ahead. We'll have a live report from Des Moines in just moments.
But we are going to start here with a developing weather story. We have a new tropical storm this morning. Karen has just formed in the Atlantic, and it may well hit Puerto Rico, which is, of course, still recovering. So let's go straight to Rob. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. Very active in the tropical Atlantic. And we have a new player, which is Tropical Storm Karen. This is going to be running on the heels of Jerry. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. But right now, winds of about 40 miles an hour. It's to the east of Grenada by about 80 miles and heading that way. Trinidad, Tobago, we have tropical storm warnings that are posted. And I think later today, Puerto Rico will at least get tropical storm watches as the forecast track from the National Hurricane Center brings it right over Puerto Rico during the day on Tuesday. Still as a tropical storm, and then potentially stalling out in the southern Atlantic. And some of our computer models longer term want to turn it west. So we'll be following this closely over the next few days for sure. More on this situation a little bit later in the broadcast. Eva.
All right, thanks, Rob. Now to the race for 2020. Democratic contenders dishing out their pitches for the White House at the Iowa steak fry. The presidential hopefuls trying to pick up momentum at the caucus event. Meanwhile, the hot topics on the menu, a report that President Trump urged Ukraine's president to investigate Joe Biden's son, and a poll showing a new frontrunner for the Democrats. ABC's Rachel Scott is in Des Moines with more. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Good morning, Eva. Yes, nearly the entire Democratic field was here in Iowa trying to gain traction in this key early voting state. But it was that whistleblower controversy that dominated much of the conversation.
I believe that we will rise. In a show of political force, Democrats descending on Iowa.
Elizabeth Warren in the house.
With marching bands, drum lines, mariachi, and armies of supporters for a revived state tradition, the Iowa steak fry. But for the party's early frontrunner, it was also a chance to take a swing across the aisle. Joe Biden on defense, fending off attacks from President Trump.
He'll do whatever he has to do, but this crosses the line.
The Wall Street Journal reports President Trump repeatedly pressed the Ukrainian president to investigate Biden's son, who served on the board of a Ukrainian energy company when his father was vice president.
Trump's doing this because he knows I'll beat him like a drum. And he's using the abuse of power and every element of the presidency to try to do something to smear me.
Biden pointing to a July call between President Trump and the leader of Ukraine, reportedly at the center of a whistleblower complaint from an intelligence official. The Inspector General found that complaint credible and one that might require the notification of Congress. But the Justice Department and acting director of national intelligence blocked it from being shared.
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas military.
And so how do you know?
Let's talk about, here's what I know. I know Trump deserves to be investigated. He is violating every basic norm of a president.
The former VP demanding the president release the transcript of the call in question. Some of his 2020 rivals echoing his concerns, accusing President Trump of potentially abusing his power.
If true, they represent a betrayal of the United States.
It falls smack dab in the middle of the need to begin impeachment proceedings.
You got a president who is clearly unfit to serve in the Oval Office.
And President Trump has defended that call, denying any wrongdoing. And while some Democrats have renewed their calls for impeachment, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has not budged on the issue. She is still reluctant to pursue that course, worried that it may hurt the party ahead of 2020. Eva?
Rachel, let's go back to that new Des Moines Register CNN poll in Iowa. It shows Senator Elizabeth Warren surging now neck and neck with Joe Biden. You've spoken with several candidates in this Democratic field this weekend. Are there signs the field may narrow if these candidates can't keep momentum?
Yes, Eva, some candidates are just simply trying to hang on. When I spoke to Senator Cory Booker yesterday, he told me the next 10 days will be critical in determining whether or not he stays in the race. His campaign is trying to raise more than $1 million before October. The senator told me that if his campaign can't grow, then he's just simply taking up space. Eva?
All right, Rachel Scott for us in Iowa this morning. Thank you. Dan?
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Eva. A lot to talk about here, so let's bring in Martha Raddatz, who's in Washington, where she'll be hosting This Week this morning. Martha, good morning. So I'm just curious to get your views on this as somebody who's covered international affairs for a while. How should we think about this Ukraine story? The president is now calling it a witch hunt. I suspect a lot of people might look at this and say, you know, we've heard Democrats in the media hyperventilate about the president's behavior before. Is this time different?
Well, I think everyone has heard the president hyperventilate about this. They've heard the Democrats hyperventilate about this. I'm sure you'll just hear President Trump continue to say it's a witch hunt, it's a witch hunt. So you'll get that echo. But when you look at this and what happened, and that the Inspector General's office said this was urgent and credible, this could go a bit further and take up some attention in the coming weeks. We have also heard President Trump tell our own George Stephanopoulos that if somebody had dirt on, say, Norway, I think he said, then he would take it. So I think we're going to be looking at this for a while and see if it goes much further and whether or not we get any sort of transcript from that telephone call. That seems to be key.
And if we get a transcript, the question will be, was there some sort of quid pro quo here involving U.S. military aid to the Ukraine? But let me switch now to another big story that you've been following all week. There was a military parade in Iran this morning, and the president of that country during the parade warned about the presence of foreign forces in the region. This comes as the Pentagon is set to send more troops to the region, to Saudi Arabia specifically. That's where the Iranians are said to be responsible for that devastating series of drone attacks last week on oil facilities in Saudi Arabia, which disrupted global oil supplies. You've got the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, on the show this morning. He's called that attack an act of war. So is that where we're heading here, war with Iran?
I don't think anybody from the administration right now wants to go to war with Iran. You've heard lots of rhetoric. They have presented no evidence about these attacks. And Mike Pompeo falls short of saying that Iran actually launched the missiles, although senior officials will tell us Iran actually launched the missiles. And those troops we're sending to Saudi Arabia, those will be in a defensive position. We are sending air defenses. We are not sending troops on any sort of offense at this point. So in many ways, the administration has really dialed this back. The big question is, if Iran keeps firing missiles, if Iran keeps firing drones, then what do they do?
That is the question, because things could ratchet up quite easily from here. Martha, thank you. I know you're going to be all over this story this morning. I want to remind everybody to tune into This Week later this morning right here on ABC when Martha goes one-on-one, as we said, with the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. And then this morning there is this. Sam Donaldson and George Will return for a special remembrance of our Cokie Roberts. It's all coming up on This Week later this morning right here on ABC. Whit, over to you.
All right, Dan, thank you. We have dramatic video coming in this morning from Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's where a nursing home fire forced 82 residents and 5 staffers out of the building. Frightened seniors at Heather Glen Senior Living Home had no choice but to watch firefighters rescuing people from the second floor of the building. 6 occupants of the center and 1 firefighter taken to local hospitals for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries.
Overseas, Greek police arresting a man they are calling a suspect in the 1985 hijacking of a TWA flight. But this morning, they're expressing doubt that they actually have their man. The hijacking lasted 17 days. In the end, a U.S. Navy diver was killed. The passengers and crew eventually released. The 65-year-old suspect is a Lebanese citizen picked up during a routine passport check in Mykonos.
The whole world was transfixed by that story back in 1985. This morning, on another note, there's a surprising new theory about what may have actually caused so-called Havana syndrome. Workers at the U.S. and Canadian embassies, you may remember this, in Havana, they started getting sick back in 2017. The prevailing theory at the time was that the sickness was caused by a high-pitched sound inside the embassies. Canadian researchers now say the illnesses may have been caused by a pesticide used to kill mosquitoes carrying the Zika virus. Among the symptoms of exposure, permanent brain injury.
Antonio Brown may have been sacked by 2 NFL football teams, but that doesn't mean his football career is over. As the league investigates sexual misconduct allegations, new reports this morning that other teams might be interested in the star wide receiver. ABC's Stephanie Ramos joins us with the latest developments. Stephanie, good morning.
Good morning. Antonio Brown has been let go by 2 NFL teams this month, surrounded by controversies, but his agent says he's still in demand. This morning, some NFL teams expressing interest in embattled wide receiver Antonio Brown. That's according to Brown's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, who spoke to ESPN insider Adam Schefter, saying a few teams want information regarding his legal situation and the NFL investigation. The news comes just one day after the New England Patriots dumped the 31-year-old after a woman accusing Brown of sexual misconduct said he sent her intimidating text messages.
Breaking news out of the National Football League. Wide receiver Antonio Brown has been cut by the New England Patriots.
The NFL telling ABC News it's investigating multiple allegations involving Brown. Meanwhile, the All-Pro receiver posting pictures on his Instagram, highlighting a recent trip back home to Miami.
Every day I'm on this paper chase life.
But some believe a deal is not likely to happen until the league's investigation is resolved. In a statement Friday, the NFL said Brown would not be placed on the commissioner's exempt list while he is a free agent, but said if he is signed by a club, such placement may become appropriate at any time, depending on the status of the investigation.
The Patriots realized that this would be a continuing drama, that this wasn't going to end.
Brown was first accused nearly 2 weeks ago by his former fitness trainer, Brittany Taylor, outlining allegations of rape, battery, and false imprisonment, all of which Brown denies. Days later, an unnamed artist accused Brown of sexual misconduct, an allegation he also denies.
She alleges that while she was working, kneeling down in front of a wall in front of Brown's house, she turned around to find him standing behind her, naked except for a hand towel covering his genitals.
This marks the end of a tumultuous month. Brown dropped by the Oakland Raiders after he demanded his release. 2 days later, signing a $15 million contract with the Patriots, of course, only playing 1 game. But this morning, he is home in Miami.
Looking for new work. Yeah.
Looking for a new job. We'll see what happens.
Stephanie, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, this morning in Utah, a number of Chinese tour bus passengers recovering from a deadly tour bus crash. Their bus overturned on Friday, killing 4 members of the tour group. They were Chinese citizens, all in their 60s. About 20 people were hurt in that crash, some still in critical condition in a Utah hospital. The cause of the crash is under investigation.
In Hazleton, Pennsylvania this morning, a 28-year-old man is under arrest for allegedly threatening to use weapons of mass destruction. Christian Earl Deal was stopped by police last night, accused of threatening 2 different schools in Hazleton. Police say an intercepted message written by Deal talked of a mass shooting, pipe bombs, and possible diversion plan. Deal is being held in the local lockup this morning pending an arraignment.
And check out this mess on a highway in Southern California. A truck was transporting a giant crane when the oversized load shifted unexpectedly. 4 lanes of Interstate 210 near La Cañada were blocked while authorities figured out a way to move the crane out of the way. Nobody got hurt here, including the driver of the truck.
The desperate search for a missing 5-year-old girl entering its 6th day this morning. Her family struggling to find out more about her disappearance as the community comes together praying for her safe return.
Overnight, a vigil held for the missing little girl taken from a New Jersey park in broad daylight earlier this week. An Amber Alert still in effect as the search for the missing 5-year-old continues, her family desperate for answers as the reward for information now jumps to $35,000. Dulce Maria Alaves was last seen at this Bridgeton Park before possibly being abducted while playing with her little brother. Her mother was in her car just 30 yards away when the girl vanished.
I went looking for her and I asked people around us and I couldn't find nothing.
This surveillance video showing Dulce inside a convenience store just moments before her disappearance. Authorities now searching for a man who possibly lured the girl into a red van.
All of us are missing her a lot.
Dozens of officers, police dogs, and neighbors helping in the search, scouring the park for clues. The family still unsure who may have taken her and praying for her safe return.
I want everybody pray for Dulce's family.
Experts in child abduction note that time is the enemy here. The FBI is now helping with the investigation.
Good thing the FBI is on the case, really pulling for that family. Thank you, Whit. Let's switch gears now and get it back over to Rob. Rob, not only are we looking at the tropics, but there's some pretty severe weather in the middle of the country.
Yeah, and for a lot of folks in the midsection of the country, it's not the best of weekends as far as some heavy rain is concerned. Also, a fire breaking out in Tennessee. I want to show you this video of, you don't see this every day, a smoke tornado basically spawned by the intensity of this particular fire. And you got some rising air, much like a dust devil would go, and picked up the dust and the smoke, and that's what you got with that. No further damage with that, but interesting nonetheless. All right, we need some rain there. We need some rain across parts of the south where they're baking with heat, but the rain is falling mostly from Kansas City up towards the north. Some of this has a tropical feed from both the Melda and Lorena. And we have flash flood watches that are posted for eastern parts of Kansas, Missouri, even getting up into Chicago throughout the day today, and really kind of moving very slowly, at least the southern part of this. So St. Louis, you're going to be back into it tonight. Chicago, slow to move through, getting through Detroit overnight tonight, and then pushing off towards the east during the day on Monday. Still a very, very warm day for the East Coast tomorrow, but tomorrow night, this front will push through, and then we could see some strong storms with this as well. But this is an area, actually, that could use a little bit of the rain. But the heaviest rains are going to be from Joplin to Kansas City, back through Des Moines. Could see 2 to 3 inches, maybe more than that today, so the potential for flooding is certainly there. That's your check on the weather headlines nationally. It's time now for a look at your local forecast.
Hello and good morning, Washington. The hot and dry conditions continue here. Highs around 90 degrees today. If that does happen, we'll be the 58th day at or above 90 degrees this year. Here's a look at the King Street Art Festival. By 2 o'clock, around 90 degrees, even by noon in the upper 80s. Gradually getting back around 80 degrees later on this evening. Early next week, still 92 on your Monday. Fall begins on Monday. Yeah, 92 degrees. Not going to feel like it. 80 on Tuesday. Back in the lower 80s on Wednesday.
All right, let's do your little sports. Let's get to it. Rutgers, Boston College. Interesting play happening yesterday. All right, 70-yard touchdown pass. And then a celebration there. One of the linemen.
What?
I think he meant to kind of either hit him on the shoulder or give him a love tap on the side of the helmet. But it was a full right swing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, his neck went off.
No harm, no foul.
For scoring a touchdown.
Now, Boston College went on to beat Rutgers. I'm not going to say that's the reason, but it doesn't help when you pop your quarterback.
That says something about team culture. Hey, should I pick that guy for my fantasy football team?
Yes, that's college.
You've got different leagues.
Different leagues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm clearly going to dominate.
It's a good thing that your 10-year-old manager knows how to handle it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Well, moving on. It's off to Southern Africa for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, as well as baby Archie. The royals starting their first official tour as a family on Monday. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Cape Town with details on how this visit follows in the footsteps of Princess Diana. Good morning, Maggie.
Hey, Eva, how's it going? Yeah, we're waiting here for the royal trio, and I have to say, not a bad place to wait. It is absolutely stunning here in Cape Town. This tour is huge for the three of them. Many are calling it sort of their coming out party as a royal family, their chance to really show people what they're all about. And so far, as it kicks off tomorrow, everyone is waiting to see why they chose here, South Africa.
The couple's first trip as a royal family is taking them to the continent Harry has called his second home.
Harry and Meghan's romantic story pretty much started here. Now they're bringing Archie here. It's part of the family story.
For 10 days, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and new baby Archie, who at barely 5 months old is one of the youngest royals to ever go on tour, will travel to South Africa, with Harry going on to Botswana, Angola, and Malawi. The couple famously visited Botswana just weeks